Hi, guys. Welcome back. When I was little and going to grade school up the street, I felt like all my teachers were lifers. But now, every single school year, we have more and more teachers exiting the profession. And every now and then, we like to watch videos on this channel where we get an inside glimpse into what they're dealing with on the daily. So hit the thumbs up button, hit subscribe if you're new, and let's check out what teachers are going through. I hope you
I
enjoy.
was so I wasn't sure if I was going to post this or not, because I honestly always try to be the bigger person, but sometimes the truth opens doors to conversation. And that truth is oftentimes a really bitter pill to swallow, but here we are. So I haven't been in the classroom since March 11th. That was my official last day. I worked out almost a month's notice whenever I was offered my new position. And in my resignation letter, I decided that I was given another opportunity with a higher salary, and it was a better choice for my family. I chose to keep the other reasons out because, again, I wanted to exit gracefully. I served in my district for almost 10 years, and I didn't want to leave with any bad blood. However, yesterday, I received a letter in the mail from my district to inform me that due to the hardship that I placed on our district, that they would be requesting that my educator license be suspended for a year. Now,
What?
I was informed by my administration that worst case scenario that this might happen, so it's not a complete shock. And at first, I found it humorous. I mean, honestly, because I don't need my teacher license for the job that I'm working now. But the more I thought about it, the angrier I got because I think the use of the word hardship really set me off. Because for me, I too experienced hardships, which is why I left the district. But nobody bothered to ask me that. We can follow up with the fact that I saw students not getting what they needed and a district that was claiming that there was not funds for that. I was buried in paperwork nonstop, classes filled to the brim, kids constantly getting added. I asked for help. I said that I was struggling and nothing happened. I do want to put out there that I had amazing colleagues and I probably stayed as long as I did because of them. I also had, for the most part, amazing administration. But at the end of the day, for the sake of my own mental health and my family, I had to make a choice to step away. I couldn't continue to pour into a system that was broken. I was a great teacher, and I loved my kids, and my kids loved me. I gave 10 years of my life to a district that, at the end of the day, could not care less about me.
Yeah, really, because she was obviously leaving to either do a teaching job where she doesn't need her license, like maybe a private school or some sort of charter school. But at the same time, the district that she worked with for a decade, which is a long time, especially by modern day standards, they were willing to suspend her license so she couldn't go on teaching potentially. God, that sounds not only cruel, that sounds like a lawsuit, lady. You might have some money coming your way if you sue.
All right, we're going to start talking about student violence against teachers because we cannot enact change unless we talk about what's going on, and there is not enough talk about this violence. My first story comes from an elementary special education teacher. She had shared pictures of the scratches and bruises that she received from another student, but I will not show that for anonymity. This student was an ISS for kicking and slapping the classroom teacher, and this special education teacher is the ISS for students who have an IEP. The teacher told the student that a Chromebook is not an option while in ISS, which resulted in the scratching and hitting violence against the teacher. The teacher was blamed for not just letting her do what she wanted, and the district supported the family by saying that this teacher was not a good fit for the student. There were no consequences, and the district was not going to do anything, so this teacher filed a police report to protect herself. Now she's an outcast with the district and administration. This student is now in middle school and has physically attacked the behavior teacher, stabbed the resource teacher in the neck with a pencil, and hit a classmate in the head so hard with a water bottle that the lid came off. They're just now looking at alternative placement. This is not okay.
So, quick story, when I was in 5th grade, one of my classmates stabbed me in the leg with a number 2 pencil, Veronica. I'm never going to forgive you. Just kidding, I forgive you. But yeah, that was a traumatic time too. I was actually a stab victim with a pencil. Guys, if this is happening to teachers, which it is, I don't know. Teachers are obviously still human beings. I think if somebody's being physically assaulted, I think we should at least try to see where the teacher's coming from. And to go back to previous teachers, if you ever have to leave your job because of something violent or traumatic, I don't think it should be held against you. I really don't. I think that's what substitute teachers are for.
Hey, wonderful educators. Guys, this was a rough week, but today
What happened?
a student hit me.
Oh,
A
geez.
student hit me today. And when I tell you it took every bit of Jesus, every second of yoga, every step of my walks, every minute of meditation and prayer for me not to retaliate.
It's really true. You see these teachers and they get pummeled, and if they try to fight back, they're potentially going to get sued. They're going to lose their career. What type of horrible situation is that? Now, with that being said, it's not like we can say, yeah, you've got the green light, tee off on the kids. It's just it really puts them in a tough spot.
But when I tell you that my self-care, because I know it was the self-care in Jesus that kept me today, when that student put his hands on me, now did I have words with him? Absolutely. He'll never do that again. But I was able to keep my calm in the situation. Thank God for self-care. I know as educators, this is one of the hardest jobs in the world. But when I tell you that self-care will keep you in an oasis and a place of peace, it will do that.
I really feel for teachers that go through this. If you're a teacher and you've ever been assaulted in any way or even physically intimidated and you don't mind, maybe let us know down below in the comments. And if you were able to get through it in a way and actually make change in that student, definitely share. I just think teachers are the most incredible human beings because they have to take this tough, they have to take this stuff that they deal with and then come right back the next day and kind of pretend like it didn't happen, which is definitely easier said than done. Just like hitting that thumbs up button. Do it. I'm tired of saying it.
Holy guacamole, being a teacher with anxiety is one of the worst things ever.
I
Because I
bet.
woke up and my anxiety was through the roof for no apparent reason. And I can't just call out of work for that. So I had to go in. And luckily, I have a co-teacher who kind of helps balance things out. But I was basically at the point of like, I need to lock myself into a room. I can't even like talk to adults and just work in silence. And you can't do that as an elementary school teacher or any teacher. And it's a Friday at the end of the school year. So the kids are wild. And every 5 seconds, I was like, I'm going to cry. I don't know why, but I'm going to cry. And then because my energy is just all over the place, I feel like the kids feed off of that, even though I'm trying to hide it. And at the end of the
Probably.
day, when they left, I couldn't even leave the room. I was like, I just need to stand here for a while. And then I went and sat in my car and couldn't even drive away because I just couldn't get myself together. Then I came home, and the only reason why I came right inside was because I had to use the bathroom. Otherwise, I would have sat in my car before even coming into my house. Like, if I worked in the kind of job where you could work from home, I would have worked from home no problem and still been able to do my work, but just like not been around the overstimulation that just like escalates the anxiety. And even though it's the end of the school year and I have days left to use, I hate using them for something like this.
And they make you feel guilty if you call in to take a day off. There's so many shortages that I always hear stories from teachers that tell me, the last place I worked at, if I needed a day off for mental health or literally for a doctor's appointment, they made me feel guilty and make it up in other ways. And I was like, okay, that definitely sounds like a crappy situation. This one says POV, you're not returning next school year, and you read a card a fourth grade student made you that says, because of you, I stopped saying I can't and started saying I can. That's awesome. It's too bad that their parents really wrote that for them. No, but that is a great card. Could you imagine getting that? That's awesome. Okay, now imagine this happening. You're a teacher and getting ready to leave.
What's your favorite thing about kindergarten? Me?
What's wrong? I miss you too.
Aww.
Hey, who loves you? Okay.
Could you imagine you've had so much stress? You always wanted to be a teacher. At the end of the year, you let the students know that you're actually leaving the profession. And then you have a little angel come up to you crying, letting you know how special you were in their lives. I can still remember my grade school teachers' names. Don't really remember my middle school or high school teachers too much, but I can remember my grade school teachers' names. They really were amazing people.
I was reminded today of why I'm so thankful I'm not in the classroom anymore. Let me tell you why. So I read to my daughter's kindergarten class today for the Read Across America Day, and it was fine. Like, I expected the kids to be really jittery and hard to pay attention and all of that, right? But I was there for 15 minutes in a kindergarten class trying to get them to listen to this story. And I'm doing all the inflection and the voices because, like, I used to be a teacher. I taught 7th grade for over 10 years. Like, I became so overstimulated so fast, and all these memories started flooding through me of like the constant, oftentimes battle of maintaining like control in your classroom and keeping those behaviors at bay. And like, I was a very chill teacher, like strict but chill, and I worked really hard to like kind of cultivate that vibe and atmosphere in my classroom because I could not handle not chill. Like, I didn't realize that I was an easily overstimulated kind of person until I started teaching middle school. But y'all, I cannot wait to go back to my sewing crafty room right now. I now run my small business out of my home by myself in complete silence with either a very yummy audiobook or some podcast or quiet ambient music in the background. Like, I am so grateful. There's a truck about to hit me. Don't hit me.
She is a little stressed. She reminds me of Arnold Schwarzenegger in Kindergarten Cop, which, by the way, if you're in your 20s and you haven't heard or you've never watched Kindergarten Cop, you probably have. It's because it's that good. Watch Kindergarten Cop. You'll love it. You'll kind of see how stressful kindergartners can be. She dealt with 7th grade. That's usually a really stressful year, but she has her escape, her audiobooks and her crafts. If you're a teacher, you probably like scrapbooking and doing crafts too. It has a way of chilling out your day and helping you relax and unwind. That's the key. You got to have some sort of escape, teachers out there.
Hi guys, Teacher Talk. Who's
Teacher talk.
excited to go back to the classroom? I thought I was. Guess what? I'm not. Last year was the roughest year of my entire life. I've taught for 19 years. I've always taught severe special education in one way or another, and last year about killed me. I had a severe concussion from a student who just whacked me right in the head, and
Ouch.
my vision went black. It came back in sparkles. I was out for 7 weeks and not getting paid for that. Workers' comp also grossly underpaid me. And then when I did come back, another student gave me a nice staph infection on my leg. I just got hurt every single day. I had really bad anxiety every single day. But at the end of the year, I was like, it's okay. Next year is going to be great. I love my kids. I love what I do. This is what I'm supposed to do. It's fine. You just need the summer to relax.
I don't care who you are. Somebody punches you in the face and takes you out of commission for an extended period of time. It takes a real special person to want to go back in the classroom and teach anybody, and potentially that same student. She was in special education for, I believe she said, what, 19 years, something like that. That's incredible.
I bought a ton of stuff from Amazon. I bought a ton of stuff from Lakeshore Learning, and I just have this year planned out. Like, I am going to kick butt. I'm going to make it great for my students. Everything's going to be great, right?
Right.
Great. So today's the first day. We go back to the first meeting, the special ed, where all the special ed teachers come together and they do the whole, we're so glad you're back. And we're in good shape. We're only down 9 teachers, which compared to Florida, like, they're down thousands. We're in great shape. Well, We're only down 170 paraeducators. Okay, last year my class was supposed to have 9 paraeducators based on the needs and the behaviors of the students, and there was 2. So 2. We were supposed to be hiring more, and now there's a huge district shortage of paraeducators. And then I find out that the paraeducator was really great. He's not coming back. So then I'm like, did we hire any more? And so at lunchtime when I'm talking to my admin and I ask, hey, so not great about him leaving, but like, have we hired anybody else? Nope, nobody has applied. Nobody's come in to interview. Nope, we have nobody else.
So imagine you have a 12-to-1 ratio, right? It's you with your 12 special ed students, and you have 2 or 3 different paraprofessionals or paraeducators there to assist you at all times. The only problem is they're not there anymore. That makes your job nearly impossible. Let's see how she was able to make do.
I said, I'm sorry. So we have one para for 2 classrooms, 16 kids. One para with all of the one-on-one needs that we need with the behaviors and the G-tube feedings and the diabetes and all that stuff. We have 1. Yep. But the district has approved us to have 2 sub-paras. Okay. Do you know what a sub-para is? It's somebody who's not trained, that is not allowed to deal with behaviors, G-tube feeding, toileting, anything. And they're different every single day. But I would get one and the other teacher would get one. So we get somebody totally new that doesn't know the kids or anything every single day.
And they're flaky. They constantly leave and quit, and they'll go to one job after another because the next job pays 50 cents more per hour. But again, when we live in a society where everything's expensive, if you're able to pay somebody an extra 25 bucks a week, it might be worthwhile for them to make the switch. Okay, this says when you say you're not coming back next year.
My goodness. Who would do this? Hello?
Good morning, Mr. Hobson. I hope you like how I redecorated your room.
Who is this?
I can't disclose that information. I'm just calling to give you a heads up on how the next 3 months will go if you do not return for another year. The choice is yours.
Good morning, faculty and staff. Fresh donuts will be served in the break room for everyone. Except for Mr. Hobson.
No! Make sure you guys hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you're a teacher, you are a godsend, and what you do is appreciated, and everyone should celebrate teachers, and someday in the near future, we'll get back to doing that. I'm hoping. With that being said, have a beautiful night. Hug your loved ones. Come back again tomorrow. We'll watch some more videos together. I'll see you then.